One of the biggest updates for Borderlands 3 is out now. It adds a completely new endgame, new weapons, free content and way more. So there's a ton to discuss, and I will also of course give one of the new weapons away. A like on the video would be super appreciated, and let's go. One of the first things you will notice is the new menu that is in the style of the Revenge of the Cartel, if you of course wait for the hotfix to be applied. And you can turn off the event whenever you want by going to the menu as well, so then you will not see the special enemies anymore, but more on that a little later. First things first, because Gearbox added new bank slots and also backspace upgrades, you can now go from 300 to 400 slots for your bank, and your backpack goes from 40 to 50 if you buy the upgrades at Marcus. I almost had the max amount of dollars in the game, but that was still not enough to buy all the upgrades, so this will be a nice new money sink. And they also added new sniper and rocket launcher ammo upgrades that you can buy for a few million each. And I can confirm that the barrel night flyer gun tactic, by the way, still works in the Wayward Tether region. We discussed of course this before, but after the update you can still go here and just shoot the barrel to get an unlimited amount of money. It's now not the best to do it on Mayhem 3 anymore, but on the highest Mayhem mode possible, because it now went from 4 to 10 Mayhem levels. Kill the enemies in the first round of this proving ground and then look for these money barrels. And you might want to turn the Cartel event off while doing this tactic, because otherwise the first round will be way harder because there will be way more enemies spawning in. You can of course get the Night Flyer pistol from the Ragman boss in the Carnivora region. After you got that, equip a special artifact that increases your money gains, and also that money boost from the arcade machine on Sanctuary 3 will help a lot too. Good to know though is that they fixed the fact that you can reroll these boosters by quitting to the main menu. So now they will just be over after 60 minutes. Makes sense, but it's still important to know. But yeah, still overall shooting these barrels will give you the money for the upgrades in no time. Going back to Sanctuary, because we will actually, upon logging in, find a new reason to visit Maurice again. He's of course near the Mayhem panel, and by the way, fun fact, you will not have to use that Mayhem panel anymore. We can now go to the menu to switch the Mayhem mode, so that is a very nice addition. For Maurice, we have to go to the Ascension Bluff region to search for cartel operatives, and you'll immediately notice the big hats that we all have right now, and that is one of the new easy modifiers from Mayhem 2.0 called Galaxy Brains, and this also applies to enemies, making them an easier target for headshots. But more on Mayhem 2.0 in a second. Let's now go back to that Revenge of the Cartels event. And for this event we have to kill special neon versions of regular enemies, and when you take them out, then backup will show up, and then we have to kill those, and those enemies drop coordinates that we need to bring back to Maurice. And what you will actually see is that all the enemies in the Ascension Bluff region drop legendary snipers. And that is because of something else that is going on in the game right now, the Loot the Universe mini event. And as you see on this image, Pandora is up now till April 30th, so that means that every region in Pandora has an increased chance to drop one specific type of legendary loot. So yes, in this region you will mostly find snipers, so totally keep an eye out for the Krakatoa if you don't have that one on a high Mayhem level yet, because that is the thing right now. Higher Mayhem levels drop higher versions of particular weapons. So in this example we are playing on Mayhem 4, so every Krakatoa will have better damage than the one that I had before this update, and you already see the difference very nicely displayed here. But we can also see it here, like this lob was from before the update, still 57, and here we got a similar incendiary lob that was found on Mayhem 7 with this update, and the damage difference is insane, 11,266 to 21,625. And the sad part is that you cannot immediately see on what Mayhem mode you got the weapon. Normally the item score is a little higher if you found a weapon on a higher Mayhem level, but that is also not the case here. But yeah, you need that damage increase on this Mayhem 7 lob for the higher Mayhem ranks, because the enemies have an increase to up to 12,500% health, shield and armor on Mayhem 10. And it goes down on every Mayhem level, but that still shows you that you need better weapons to survive in this mode. So yes, totally keep that in mind when farming the new weapons that they just added, that you want to in the end get them on Mayhem 10, because then you have a chance to get their best version. So I will give a tip on how you can easily go to Mayhem 10 in a second, but first let's take a look at some of the new awesome weapons they added with this update, because there are quite a lot of awesome ones. Like the OPQ. We now finally have a good Atlas assault rifle, and the secondary fire option creates this flying copy of the gun that will shoot at the enemies that you're currently aiming at. But the best part is that the regular damage of this weapon is already insane. Like, it doesn't matter what health bar you got in front of you, this gun will shred through it. It's a Cartel exclusive item, so obtainable from the underbosses that can also spawn in as backup when you fight the neon enemies. But you can of course also find it in the map that is dedicated to this event, because after you collected the 30 coordinates, you can return to Maurice and he will open the portal to this new level. And the map is awesome, by the way. I want to go full in depth on this event in a separate video, but yeah, totally of course do it, because you will not only have a chance to get some of these nice weapons, but also just fight many variants of familiar enemies. There's a cool boss fight at the end as well. It's really a cool evolution of Bloody Harvest. So really cool that they learned from that and made it more diverse this time around, with multiple enemy factions that you can fight. And then maybe you get this amazing Atlas assault rifle, or you can also reply to the pinned comment under this video for a chance to win it. You have to be a subscriber of the channel before you enter. Good luck, I will announce the winner in a future video. You can also get the Yellow Cake Legendary COV launcher during this event, and maybe at first it's not that impressive, but if you find the perfect distance between you and the target and hit an enemy with the projectile split, then you can do some insane damage, because then multiple projectiles will hit the enemy at once. Very fun. Again, I want to go more in depth on the Revenge of the Cartel and the weapons in a future video, because you have till June 4th to get these guns. But Gearbox actually also added permanent new guns to the game that you can get in Mayhem level 6 and up from specific main game bosses. Like the Sandhawk from Borderlands 2 is now not an SMG but a sniper rifle, and you can get it from the Katagawa Junior boss in the Atlas HQ, and again you have to kill him on Mayhem 6 and up. The fire rate is still insanely high with this gun in the full auto mode, and the damage is amazing as well. The downside is, and you likely can already see this coming, you burn through your ammo insanely fast. So thank God for the extra sniper rifle ammo at Marcus, but still, you want to get this gun, and there are actually more new legendaries added. And a lot of people from the community already put together a sheet with all the weapons and where you can get them, and I will link to that document in the video description. Another interesting new weapon is from a new quest on Sanctuary 3, where Marcus is trying to find dirt on Maurice. So it's pretty straightforward and everything happens on Sanctuary. But after that you get the pricker gun that is surprisingly good for a purple unique weapon. Like here you see it wrecking house on Mayhem 4, and the fun thing is that when an enemy is hit by the 4 projectiles, it causes an extra explosion. So a pro tip is to get this gun, and then you can easily kill enemies on Mayhem 4 and then also farm weapons on Mayhem 4 and then grind from there. Because in the end you want to get Mayhem 10 versions of your favorite weapons as soon as possible, because if you got like a few Mayhem 10 weapons, then you can easily get the others as well. Like again, the Krakatoa on Pandora helped me a ton to get to the higher Mayhem levels. And at one point we said, okay, let's just go to the Curse Haven to that Hammerlock target for the Clairvoyance assault rifle that is always amazing, so especially on Mayhem 10. And then with that weapon, we can easily get other Mayhem 10 weapons. The Tom and Sam farm in the Heart's Desire region is also great for some nice Mayhem 10 DLC 2 weapons. Just focus on one of the bosses with a nice incendiary weapon, then fast travel back to the nearby fast travel point, and if you then go in, the bosses will have respawned, and this way you can get some very high rank DLC 2 items. But if you don't have the season pass, then just farming on Pandora is great because of that Loot the Universe event. Like we got a ton of nice assault rifles in the Carnivora region. Another very important fact about Mayhem 2.0 is that only weapons that drop from enemies seem to be increased by the Mayhem levels. So weapons from a chest and that are a quest reward are not increased by the higher Mayhem levels. So making them pretty useless actually. And also every other item that is not a weapon doesn't have an increase. So if you already have a good level 57 shield or grenade, then you're already good to go. Although grenades in particular are kind of useless now, because the grenade damage doesn't scale to Mayhem level 10. So that is why the on grenade thrown anoint is actually pretty good, because then the grenades still have a use, because they increase the weapon, grenade and action skill damage by 25% for 6 seconds. You also want to keep an eye out for all the new anoints, and there are actually a ton. Like the on action skill and spawn a healing pool for several seconds, or increased radiation damage when under the 50% health. You now also have the on action skill active variants, like constantly dealing Nova damage, or for a grenade, on action skill active grenade damage is increased by 150%, or that you deal 75% more damage to badass, named and boss enemies. So pretty interesting anoints all around, making also farming for a new grenade or shield a little bit worth it. The update is really huge and there's really way more to cover, so totally subscribe for everything Borderlands 3 if you haven't already. We'll have way more videos coming your way, and if you found some interesting secrets or anything else, drop it down in the comments below. Like this video to support the channel, and as always, Dennis and I want to do Guess the Weapon at the end of a Borderlands 3 video, so let's do that now. Dennis, we got a ton of new content. Are you going to put like a new weapon on the wall, or?
No, I didn't put a new one up. So
okay. It's an older.
Yeah, I'll explain what's going on right now. So since previous video, we've started doing a sort of a little mini game. So we both put a weapon in our rooms, and since I can't see the item card from here, I'm gonna have to guess which one it is from the shape of it. And then you have to do the same in my room, and we keep score. So we're 1-1 now.
Yeah.
And
We're looking at shotguns here, right?
Yeah, we're looking at shotguns. So we did assault rifles last time, and now we're looking at shotguns. I'm gonna say this is... I'm having doubts between two of them again.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say that it's the nothingness.
No, it's the insider.
It's the insider. I was also thinking it could be the lob, but
alright,
no. At least I guessed the correct DLC. So that's something.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's why I wanted to put it there, because it looks like oh man, you have something.
I almost was afraid we picked the same one, but we didn't. It's not the same one. I'll give you that already. I'm still not sure if you're gonna guess it.
It's maybe from the Bloody Harvest event. Fearmonger might be it, or it is.
Nope.
Yeah, the recursion or something.
Which one's the final guess? Recursion?
Yeah,
that is actually correct.
Okay, well, yeah, it counts then, right? 2-1?
It does count, yeah. So
okay,
you're
cool.
up 1, we're 2-1 now.
Now, nice, okay. We will continue in the next video. We have a ton of content coming your way, because there's a lot going on right now. And subscribe for more, and totally check out our previous Borderlands 3 video on that barrel farm tactic. Or if you want a more in-depth analysis of that. For now, we will speak to you next time, and goodbye.